Hello my beautiful YouTubers and welcome to my channel. We're here to discuss frugal living and what I have done and things I stopped doing. The first thing I did was cut internet. I remember for years I resisted in getting rid of my internet because I was not familiar with streaming service, and it's kind of like you're afraid to try new things. I was actually afraid. I was like, yeah, I'm so used to watching this show, and keep in mind that I probably watched maybe 3 channels total. I was obsessed with watching HGTV. I was watching Bravo, but since lately I have not been watching Bravo. What the hell? So the first thing I did was to cut cable. My cable bill was about, average about $160 per month. And keep in mind that I was not maximizing what I was paying for cable, because again, I was watching an average, I would say 3 to 5 channels, max. And then paying $160. And keep in mind it was, for the cable, internet, and at landline. I was afraid. I was like, if I go out, I'm not giving out my personal number. It's, it's for family and friends. I don't want to, I've gotten over that real quick when I cut my cable bill. And when I cut my cable bill, when I try to just subscribe to just Wi-Fi, you have to keep in mind that organizations are there to sell you stuff. They're there to maximize their profit regardless of what cost it is to you. They're not there for your well-being. The sales rep try to sell me the most expensive internet plan, why I need this and this megapixel and this will not work properly and yada yada yada. And luckily I was smarter than that. I took the cheapest package. I have yet to have an issue with, and it's been about a year now, I've yet to have an issue with my Wi-Fi. Pay attention to what works best for you, not just what works best for you, but make sure whatever you're getting, you're maximizing, you're getting proper cost per wear out of it per se. If you're paying $80, $90, $100 for Wi-Fi, and it says it's going to give you whatever, and you're using X, do you really need it? Is it money that you could be saving? So that's another thing. The other thing that I did was my cell phone. I've had 5 cell phone companies so far. My current cell phone I've had for probably 8 to 10 years now. But prior I've had, the top ones, you name it. I've had issues with some, with most. Actually, to be honest with you, every cell phone company you're gonna have an issue with. So then I went to this current cell phone company that I'm having right now, and I'm paying a fraction of the cost of what most are paying and what I was paying in the past. There are people that try to shame me because my cell phone company is not very well known, and it's what they call generic per se, but the customer service is excellent. I've had minimum issue with it, and it's normally very fixable with the great customer service that they have. So you may not heard of it, it's working perfectly fine. So I don't have an issue with my cell phone company, and also I go for the cheapest plan. And that actually helped me drastically and tremendously cut costs. Another thing that I did in order to cut costs is, this is not a promotion for Planet Fitness, but my gym is Planet Fitness, and I'm paying just $10 per month for that gym. I know a lot of people's like, oh yeah, Planet Fitness, because it's like a status thing to say that you're going to the fanciest gym. But at the end of the day, it's not the gym per se, it's the equipment that it have, and the fact that you could actually get into that gym and use the equipment without 100 people over you or waiting for the equipment. That's maximum benefit of a gym. I don't know about you, but that's for me. So with Planet Fitness, area is great, the staff is great. I get there, I'm normally an early riser, so I'll go to the gym first thing in the morning. Don't have any issue with machines. It have the machines that I wanted, that I use. So again, with $10 a month versus paying $80, $100, I don't need the fanciest gym. In fact, I'd rather work out where I don't have anyone looking at me or over me or whatever. Normally when you go to fancy gym, yeah, that's pretty much what you do. Everyone is trying to compete as far as, whether the guy's trying to be buff or the lady's trying to wear the most expensive gym clothes, whatever. No, that's not the reason why I go to a gym. So just $10 a month. So that's another reason why I do. Cheapest gym, maximize the benefits, what I'm paying. The machine that I want is there, the time that I want is there, the neighborhood is great. So that's another thing that I do to cut costs. Another thing that I do is avoid credit cards. It's been years that I've actually applied for a credit card. You know, you'll go into the store and you'll have them, oh yes, sign up for a credit card and we'll give you 20%, 25%, 20% off for the first 3 days or a week, or, you know, we'll take $100 or whatever. If you have access to something, you most likely will use it because we're humans. If you don't need that credit card, don't get it, because you having that credit card, you will eventually, oh yeah, my credit card is from X store, let me look and see what they have. Or yeah, I have that credit card, let me walk into the store, and you will spend. It's very rare that someone will walk into a store and walk out without nothing in their hand. Because you have to remember that stores are there to trap you. You ever go into a store where they have the music playing, the aroma is just so, that's a trap. It's a trap not just to get you in, but also to get you to spend. It's to put you in the mood. If you don't need that credit card that the stores promote, you have to remember whatever they're giving you, they're getting more out of it. That's something that you have to remember. So keep that in mind. Another frugal living that I do, or things that I no longer do, is my insurance. Whether that be your house insurance or car insurance. Oftentimes, well, not often, most likely, most of the time, if you go for the highest deductible, your monthly payment will be the lowest. Now, I'm not saying for you to go for the highest deductible. Go for a deductible that you're comfortable with. For example, let's say if an accident happened or something happened, they're telling you that your deductible is $2,000, $5,000. If you can access that, or if you can afford that, if something happened, that will save you a whole lot in the long run, because at the end of the day, you're spending much less in those monthly payments that you're giving out that you probably don't even benefit. If you own a home, you're not really, at the end of the day, are you getting back all those years and years of insurance costs that you put out? If you're a safe driver, are you getting those back? So try to go for a deductible that you're more comfortable with, per se. Another thing that I do in order to avoid spending or overspending or just take money out of your pocket is, have you ever been to the grocery store and you go and they're scanning and they're doing it so fast, and as fast as you put something on, they're scanning it, and then you go home, and some of us do, at least I do, you realize the thing that you saw on sale, that you bought just because it was on sale, they didn't give you the sale price. And then you realize not only is it such an inconvenience to go back, but also it's gas. Have you seen the price of gas? So what I do from now on is I always go to the self-checkout. And I actually take my time, but not slow enough, because at the end of the day, you have to be considerate for others. So I always do it on a timely fashion, but as soon as I scan one item, I'm looking up at the monitor to make sure that it is a price that it says it was. So that's another thing. And another thing, I also believe that honesty is the best policy. So whenever you go to the self-checkout, don't try to scan them. Try to actually pay the price of what it was or what it is. For example, if you know it's, for example, peach. Let's say you buy 4 peach and you put in the number and it says put in quantity. If you have 4 peach, don't put in 3. Because I think karma again is cause and effect. If you try to rob Jane over here, Paul over here will try to rob you. So I always believe in honesty is the best policy. Like, you know, I always scan everything in my bag. I always put the quantity that is always there. You know what I mean? Like if I have 4 peach, I don't put that I have 3. Again, I believe honesty is the best policy, and that's another way to retain money too. You know what I mean? Because again, karma, cause and effect. Another thing that I do is if I'm not using an appliance in my house, I don't keep it on. Like my cell phone, the minute I'm finished charging my cell phone, I don't leave it plugged in. And a lot of people may think that, oh yeah, it doesn't add up, it's only a penny or whatever. Penny adds up. It's penny that adds up to make $1, to make $10, to make $100, to make $1,000, and so forth. If I'm not using something, the only thing that actually remains plugged into my house on a permanent basis is my fridge, my stove. I have 2 night lamps. One is plugged in because I only use one. I don't keep stuff plugged in if I'm not using it. And my light bill, granted I don't have central air because I'm from a warm climate, I can tolerate the heat. My light bill is around $22 per month. Fun fact, do you know that in England that the apartments, I don't know about now, but they did not come with central air? If you are working your way to become wealthy, then you have to go through some form of inconvenience. You have to keep that in mind. For example, if you have $10 million and oh yeah, you look at it like, oh yeah, I have money forever, it's never gonna go away. If you're not careful with that $10 million, it can go just like that. And again, you have to go through, like I said, inconvenience. Let's say you have $10 million and you're thinking that, oh yeah, I can take a private jet everywhere I wanna go. That $10 million is eventually gonna go until it gets to the amount that you can afford on that lifestyle. For example, you have $10 million, it's okay to take commercial jet, first class, business, or even coach. You have to keep in mind that money doesn't grow on a tree, and each time you take from your investment or your bank account, whatever, unless you physically work towards putting it back, it's just not gonna magically appear. Like, it's not tree with leaves that it grows. It's not going to grow every year. So again, you have to go through a little bit of inconvenience. For example, if I'm going downtown, if I'm going somewhere, if I'm going downtown, I don't drive because number one, public transportation is much cheaper than me driving downtown. Not just look at the cost of gas, or when you get down there, you're most likely going to have to find parking, pay for parking, and good luck with the inconvenience of driving around for God knows how long trying to find parking. So that's another inconvenience, and that's an example of inconvenience that I said you have to go through some type of inconvenience in order to retain cash. So that's what I have done. Another thing that I have done is I start bringing my lunch and breakfast to work. If you eat out, or if you eat lunch, if you eat breakfast, and most people, they eat all 3 meals out, dinner. I want you to, each time you purchase, just get a notepad and travel with a notepad and write down the price of each thing that you buy. And at the end of that week, calculate how much you've spent. You will be shocked, because this is not like, you know, back in the days where we were reliant on cash. So you could see, you spend $20, you can see that $20 go. We often pay with credit card. In the back of our head, we don't count. We don't see what's, until the end of the day, you may see, oh my God, I'm overdraft. I have a negative, because you keep spending, not realizing how much is taken out. So it has saved me so much. I cannot tell you how much I've saved from bringing lunch. It could be simple as a bagel with peanut butter. I often do bagel, peanut butter, and banana because that's a power breakfast and a healthy one. And then lunch. And then another thing that I do, if I cook, even if it doesn't come out the way I want it, I still eat it. I was raised, waste not, want not. So because of that, I do not waste. I think in order to get money and retain money, you have to respect money. If I just cook and it doesn't come out right and I toss it out, that's money I'm throwing away. That's something that I don't respect, because at the end of the day, whatever comes out that did not taste right, you still spend at the grocery store for it. So I always try to force myself to eat, even if it's bad. I try to eat whatever I cook. I try to take it to work, even if it doesn't. The funny thing is that even though you cook something and it may not come out right, you take it to work and it's like, the taste is a little bit better. Please eat what I cook. The next thing I did is, I used to buy water and I stopped. And it doesn't matter what fancy water you buy, you have to bear in mind that the plastic have gas in it. Now, it may not be a detrimental amount, but at the end of the day, it does have gas. So I try to get a filter and I try to buy my water bottle. And whenever you actually have your fancy water bottle, you tend to drink more. You will drink more water. And especially if you're seeing it in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, we're a visual creature. So if you have this fancy water bottle, you will drink more. Which is, I have this water bottle that I got, and it's a timed water bottle. And it actually, I realized that I'm drinking more water than if I was drinking from a water bottle. Another thing that I do to save, cut down on costs, is my diet. And I will discuss my diet in other videos. I don't drink soda. I don't drink juice, or I should say I don't buy them. I rarely drink them. Here and there, if I'm craving something, I will drink it. You know what I mean? Like, I won't totally deny. But I don't go to the store and I don't buy juice and I don't buy soda. Because it doesn't matter what juice you see, at the end of the day, if it says 100% juice, it's not. And you have to keep in mind, just about every single thing has preservative in it. So when you think of a healthy way of living, it actually saves you a lot as well. I do not go down the grocery store and go through the juice aisle or the soda aisle. I do not, you know, and that, if you think about how much you spend on juice and sodas and whatever, you'll be shocked, extremely shocked at the amount that you save. So again, I don't buy juice, I don't buy sodas. If you see it in my fridge, it's by me getting it for free or someone bring it and leave it. Like, you will not see me going down and buying juice or soda. Another thing that I do, I don't feel the need to go out to the store and purchase the latest gadget just because it's out. For example, I know Apple comes out with their product what seems like every single month. I have an iPhone 7, it still works. That's what I'm using. They're up to iPhone 13 now, God knows how many is in between. I do not buy it. Will I eventually get it? Yes, because my phone is dwindling to another life. But I don't run out and get a phone just because Peter, Paul, or Tom have it, or because I want to look a certain way, or I want to fit a certain status, or don't feel the need to go out and get the latest gadget just because you're looking for someone else or a gadget to validate you. Like, the gadget that you have does not validate you. So another thing I do is I do not get the latest gadget. In fact, both TVs that I have, they're not smart TV. I thought they were. In fact, when I got rid of cable and I got a streaming service, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a smart TV, and I'm going through the stuff with the sales rep. And then I realized my TV's not smart. I did not went out and got a smart TV because guess what? It shows perfectly fine. It works perfectly fine. I do not see myself upgrading to a smart TV anytime soon because what I have works fine. The quality is great in my eyes. I don't see a difference between someone else's smart TV and what I have to say that, oh yeah, my picture is blurry. No, the quality is absolutely fabulous. So do not feel the need to run out and get the latest gadget just because someone have it. Whatever you get, make sure that you're gonna benefit from it 100%. For example, if you're buying an iPhone 13 and you have the 12, what are you going to benefit? What is the difference to you between the iPhone 12 versus the 13? Yeah, they may say better quality picture, but do you really have a problem with the quality picture that you're taking? You don't really need something just because someone say better quality. You have to see where it fits your lifestyle and also fits your budget. This ties back into the grocery store earlier that I mentioned. Just because something is on sale, avoid buying it. For example, you may see, let's say, tuna. You may see buy 4, get 1 at the grocery store. If you know you're not going to use 5 tuna, or if you're not a tuna lover, don't get tuna just because it's on sale. If you're not going to use it, even if it costs $1, you will waste that $1. Don't get something on sale just because it's on sale. You have to literally, whenever you go into any type of store, grocery store, clothing store, ask yourself, would I have bought this if it wasn't on sale? If the answer is no, you simply do not need it. So I don't really buy stuff on sale just because it's on sale, whether that be clothes or food. Because again, studies have shown that we have wasted so much buying in bulk. And in our head, we're thinking buying in bulk is cheaper. It's not normally cheaper. So be careful how you buy in bulk and be careful how you buy stuff on sale. Another thing that I do is, the only thing that I have that is, should I say expensive? I use the term loosely because what might be expensive to me may not be expensive to you, is my, as far as furniture is concerned, is my mattress and my sofa. Everything else, I don't need to buy an expensive center table or nightstand because you'd be surprised how great, as far as aesthetics is concerned, and the quality that you could get at other stores. Target, Amazon, thrift shop. And most of the time may not be what you want, color-wise, it just takes a few paint job. So don't run out and get furniture that is, you see in someone else's apartment, or because someone you see showing their house and, oh yeah, they buy this. If you don't, you'll be surprised what accessory can do for your furniture. For example, you know, later in later video I'll give you a tour of my house, but you know, you'd be surprised what it's like you having on a plain dress and you accessorize it, it automatically changes. You know, a paint color, you get something at the thrift shop, you don't like it, paint it. You'll be surprised. So don't run out and get furniture that is expensive just because you see it on someone else or because someone else have it. Like, that will save you a fortune. I will use my washer and I'll wash and I'll, you know, hang dry. But that, again, significantly cut down to the cost as to why my light bill is around $22 per month. So again, that, and I'm not expecting there's, whatever I'm saying, there's no one size fits all. There's never a one size that will work for everyone. The key thing is that is to look at someone else's, what they're doing, and how you may adjust your lifestyle or whatever, how you can make adjustment, not necessarily to copy, because I go to the laundromat, I don't expect you with kids and have so much to do to go to the laundromat. You know what I mean? Like, whatever works for you. But again, it's never one size fits all. So don't look at everything and say, I'm going to copy what the person is doing. No, just do whatever fits you. And with small changes, you'll be conscious. And that is the goal, is for you to be conscious and then put into practice. And this may not happen overnight. It may happen in 6 months, a year. But the point is to keep in the back of your head what your goal is. And as far as the whole point is for you to retain cash in your pocket. The whole point is for you to become wealthy. And another thing, in order to become wealthy and retain cash, is whatever you do, don't keep up with the Joneses. Do not follow the Joneses. Do not look at someone else to validate you. Do not look at a designer or a labeler as a brand to validate you. Peter down the street is wearing a Gucci shoes. Doesn't mean that you should run out and get a Gucci shoes. Doesn't mean you should run out and get a designer bag. Are you getting it for you, or are you getting it for the status quo of it, or because you're looking to someone to say, oh yeah, she's rich? You don't want to be rich, my friend. You want to be wealthy, and wealth is silent. Just please bear that in mind. Wealth is silent. In fact, I'd rather look poor and be criticized that I'm poor, be financially independent and stable, rather than the other way around. I'm driving a Porsche or a Bentley, but I'm broke. So again, everything surrounds your mental health. And so when your mental health isn't right, there's no way that you can become wealthy. And when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're interfering with your mental health. So again, protect your mental health, protect your space, and do not. The only way that you could do that is to stop looking to others to validate you, or to stop keeping up with the Joneses. Another thing that I do to cut costs is fast fashion. I'm sure you've heard of fast fashion. H&M, your Target. At some point, you know, you have 2 jeans jackets. Do you really need a 3rd jeans jacket? I'm very conscious of, as far as fast fashion is concerned, how I spend and what I buy. I'm not there yet. I'm trying to eliminate it, but I'm not there yet. But I don't really go shopping. I don't go to the mall. I don't go online to browse, just because if I go to the mall, it's literally to just get one item. Like, I don't really go shopping, like, for what? You often accumulate so much with nothing going out, and that causes clutter. Not only is it causing clutter, but you're spending, and again, it's affecting your mental space. And if your mental space isn't right, then, you know, it's going to be hard for you to accumulate wealth and retain it, which is what we're all trying to do. Not just to get wealth, but to retain it. I remember that I went to Starbucks, and I don't really do Starbucks because I don't drink coffee. But I went to Starbucks, and I normally drink hot chocolate. And I remember I ordered my hot chocolate, and I don't really drink milk. So I think I either did soy milk or almond milk. As far as any special additive, I think that was it. And she told me it was like 5 something. This was for a medium. I don't know what their medium is called, grande, whatever. I don't know. I don't keep up because I don't really do Starbucks a lot. And they were, as always, Starbucks is always most likely crowded most of the time. And there were people behind me. And when she told me 5 something, I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I did not let the fact that I'll be embarrassed or because someone is behind me to allow me to spend $5+ for a hot chocolate that was not even going to be great, because it doesn't even matter how many. And I have caved in a few times and get their hot chocolate, but you know, different location, you may find slightly different price. And I've caved in and I've gotten it before, and it's not that their hot chocolate is that great. You know, that Nesquik or Bisquick, whatever, those chocolate syrup that you put into milk and you stir, and that's what their hot chocolate tastes like. And it doesn't matter how many times I told them, could you make it sweet or extra sweet? you always get it the same. So it's not like I'm really paying for quality. I mean, their coffee might be great. I don't drink coffee. A lot of people do coffee because they like it. Their coffee might be great, but I don't drink coffee. So I do hot chocolate, but their hot chocolate, as I have yet to find their hot chocolate to be worthwhile. So that day I was not willing to spend $5+ for hot chocolate. I graciously told her no thank you, and she was not happy because had she made it, I would have taken it, because I was like, she already made it, I don't want him to waste it, and I live by waste not, want not. So I would have taken it, but she just cashed it. All you have to do is cancel, and she was not happy, but it didn't matter. And it doesn't matter who was behind me that looked at me and said, oh, I can't believe she can't afford it, whatever. That's okay. So do not let people dictate how you should live, what you should buy, and that will drastically save you enormous amount of money when you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, when you're not trying to compete, when you're not looking for someone or something to validate you. That is the first step in saving money. You have to learn to get what will fit your lifestyle, what will be necessary in your lifestyle. Another thing to retain wealth and to keep wealth is avoid bragging. You can't, just remember that rich is loud, wealth is silent. Whenever you brag, you have to keep up to a certain lifestyle, because you have to make sure that you fulfill whatever the facade that you're bragging about. You always have to keep up with it. Yeah, I'm rich. You have to brag, I'm rich. You have to keep up with that lifestyle. You have to make sure that you drive the latest car or have the latest duds on. So when you brag, it's money going out of your pocket, because you have to keep buying. You have to keep not just buying, but buying at a certain level, at a certain price, because you want to pretend, or you want to see that you brag. You know what I mean? So when you brag, the only damage that you're doing is to your pocketbook, period. So avoid bragging. Like I said, whenever I go to the grocery store, and of course, I try to be conscious of people behind me, and I always try to be conscious of people's time. So it's not like I take forever. But whenever I go to the grocery store and there's a few people that are looking at me whenever I'm cashing, and they're looking and they're seeing that I'm taking a little bit too long, and I really don't take that long. It's almost like you could feel them pushing you. But I don't let that stop me from literally checking on the screen to see what they have, because everything adds up. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, oh yeah, I buy that, I get home, they charge me $1 extra. It adds up. If you go to the grocery store and you tell them I'm $1 short, you most likely will not get that item. So just keep that in mind, and you have to keep in mind that organization are there to maximize their profit on your behalf. Doesn't matter how they do it, their main goal is to maximize profit. So I remember I went to IKEA with a friend of mine, and she was a little bit embarrassed, but it didn't matter. And I went with her to the store, and it actually backfired, but that's okay. When I came out and looked at my receipt, I'm like, wait a second, they charged me extra for this. So I went to customer service, she went through my bag. Well, not only did she charge me the right price, but then she realized that she didn't charge me for an item. So I ended up spending more. And I could see her with embarrassment or, ugh, but it doesn't matter. And even though it backfires, it's okay, because I made a point of habit to look at my receipt, and for the past, what I have saved doing that versus the few bucks that I did not save that backfires on me, it's okay. It's okay. So again, practice looking at your receipt, practice living for you, and do not let other people validate how you live, what you should live. Do not let a gadget guide your life. Because at the end of the day, let's say you live in a world by yourself, would you have the latest iPhone every single year that it comes out? Would you have the fanciest TV? If you didn't have anyone to prove to anyone, because at the end of the day, your iPhone 12 or 10, 11, whatever the numbers are, does it work any differently than the 13 that comes out? A lot of people say the camera, but is the camera any different? If you're not a photographer that needs a camera, do not let a better camera dictate that you should get a new iPhone. Well, my dears, if you made it this far in my video, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.